and I remember that there was a frother that you had been looking for over a year. There's a supplier that we had been looking for this supplier, and you had given me the task even of trying to find the supplier.
Okay, because I gave up. I couldn't do it. I looked. I think I probably spent 20 hours on freaking Alibaba over and over, finding and messaging and this. Like, yes, we have it, and they would send me something that was totally different and a disaster.
I think it was about a month later, Athena called you, who was one of our good friends at the time, and then what did she tell you?
Come to China. So what are you talking about? Yeah, we're all going to China. Come on over. Like, are you crazy? I'm having a baby and this. She said, no, it's going to be okay. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to go there. Did it? Okay, well, how long? I think was it 5 weeks? No, 3 weeks.
I don't
21 days. 21 days. And I did the math. It was like 21 days is something like 7% of my year or whatever. It was like 3 weeks. It's a lot of time. And so I said, what? That's kind of nuts, but I guess we got to you either die or you thrive or die. You know what I mean? You're going to go up or you're going to go down. So, I don't know, at some point. And I even said no to her like 5 times. And she's like, no. Like, you should come. This is going to be amazing. Your business is going to change this and that. And she would not take no for an answer. And I really thank her for that because we talked about it and you said yes.
Wasn't it called China Magic?
China Magic, yeah.
Okay. So I think, was this her first one that she did?
Mm-hmm.
So I remember you asking me, so Whitney, what do you think about me going to China? But remember you said, listen, if I could just find this one frother. That was why you wanted to go, right?
Yeah, that was number one reason, yes.
Yeah, and I remember thinking that we have to find this frother because we've been talking about this frother for so long already. And, you know, I was I think about 6 or 7 months.
You were very pregnant.
And we had our 2-year-old at the time, or almost 2-year-old, so she was almost 2. And I was like, oh my God, this is a sacrifice. I'm going to be by myself. But you know what? If we can find that frother, I think it would be very worth it. And it was another sacrifice we did. And I remember he's like, listen, it's just we're in the sacrifice mode, Whitney. Sacrifice now for, what is it? What was it? A more beautiful future.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So, so off to China I went and met a bunch of people out there. It was a great trip. But I'd spent, it's 3 weeks, and I talked to supplier after supplier after supplier. We got, a better factory for our lemon squeezer, and that was gonna save us something like $20,000 a year, and the quality was gonna be improved. So that paid for the trip. That was good, but we still hadn't found the product we're looking for, right, for the milk frother, for 3 weeks, and it was the last day of the Canton Fair, and so I called Whitney. It's like 4 o'clock in China time. The thing closes at 5, and I called her. I said I couldn't find it. I said, Whitney,
people are
Whitney, it's everything's closing. I couldn't find the frother. I'm sorry, but we saved this money on the lemon squeezer. I found a bunch of other good products. We have like some good knives. We have some good this. We have whatever. We have like a bunch of stuff. I have like 50,000 business cards. I met a bunch of people. Even to this day, some people will like send me. I did selfies with the guys. And like gave them, and they would send me a picture of me and them like 5 years ago or whatever. They're like, oh, you want this new product? So anyway, fantastic trip. But I said we couldn't find this frother, Whitney. So I called you and told you the bad news.
Yeah, I was like, no way. Aaron, you're not coming back here without finding that frother. I said, I do not care if you stay there another 2 fucking weeks. But you're going to stay until you fucking find the frother. We're not going to have done this entire trip for you not to have found it. I said, I don't care if you don't come home.
Should put fire in my
You're
ass.
not coming home until you find it.
Yeah. So I said, oh, God, okay. Oh. And I'm like running to every booth, like the booths that are not closed. I'm like, okay, what do you have? Oh. And I'm like at the last row, and I go, this is worthless, but I don't have a choice. Oh. And I went to one booth, and I'm like, okay, this. And I talked to the guy, and I said, hey, I'm looking for this. And he's like, I have one. We have a frother. I said, really? Show me. And he took me one. It wasn't exactly the same, but I said, we're going to need to make a stand, and we need to do this, and we're going to do this. And he's like, we can do that. I said, really? Okay. And he got the pricing. It was good. Everything was fantastic. I said, okay. And this has been our literally in that last hour, all the magic happened. This has been our number one supplier. We have the exclusive. We've made a bunch of different types of frothers. We've designed our own stand with the guy. I mean, we've designed it. He's produced it. We've done all sorts of crazy stuff, but it's literally paid off so much in that 5-minute conversation with Whitney, putting fire under my ass. I was literally about to go home. I wasn't gonna stay there. And
he was literally telling me he's tired, his feet hurt, he didn't wanna go in the fair anymore. There's only an hour left. Everybody's packing up. The booths are all going down. There's no point. I'm like, no.
It's the moment of average. The moment of average. This is when everybody gives up, you know? Like, you know, you can give up on your business, you give up. This is only one part of the thing, but a lot of times you're like, it's over. You know? You're that close to winning. You're that close to success, and I just said I can't take it. But I had no idea. I thought it was doomed, and we were screwed. And so in the end, no, we found it. So, Whitney, good job.
Oh, good job. You continued. You listened to me. You know.
Well, I had no choice, Whitney. I'm gonna get spanked if I go home without that thing. I'm gonna get spanked, and not in the good way. So like that was coming. That was coming for me. So I had no choice. And so anyway, that's the point when you're a team. Like you both have the same effort. You have the same idea going forward, and so we ended up finding it. So that was spectacular. And then again, that's the story. Like the company really grew after that. Like that trip was huge for us. Absolutely freaking huge. And I know if you go to, I guess, I don't know, ChinaMagic.com, or you check with Athena, she's still doing these trips, so you can go to China. I can't guarantee anything, because trust me, if you stop in the last hour, you probably won't find what you're looking for. So anyway, but yeah, you know, and as you guys see, if you look right now, we have the number 1 milk frother, we have the number 2 milk frother, we have number 3 milk frother. Like all these things are produced. We have the best designs, the best motors, the best stuff. We worked and we found somebody who's going to be an amazing partner. And that it was like in the last moment, we almost didn't do that. So